last week.
It's going to be 12:15 today. But you know what? I think we're back to 12.
It worked fine.
This was good. So 12 o'clock from here on it is. And I will leave you to talk for a few minutes because I think what you've talked about is very interesting and you've provided me with a huge amount of information. I was listening to your entire conversation.
Entire conversation?
Pretty much from the...
online?
Pretty much I was on the extension phone here.
Nothing goes by. Well, I have some more to say.
Actually, let me come in here. I have some things I want to do with you now. And so that's, I think, what our next step is to do those. But you know what? Maybe I will listen to what you have to say. Barb, you need to lower your camera and probably get more light on your face.
Oh, okay.
Because it's... Now that's nice.
I might switch rooms in a second.
That's very nice. And I want you to sit back and relax. I want you to create a relaxed character. Everybody, relax your faces, relax your eyes. Greg, lower your camera too. And create a person create yourself as a person who's at home in your body, who's feeling good, who, you know, no axis to grind, you know, there's no struggle in your life. You're cool. You know? You guys you're just a cool type person.
Your leg is got this for now.
And so Barb, go ahead and speak now. Say what you want to say.
Coconut. Mmm.
I've got to get closer, and I can't really.
Barb, you have more to... Oh, Barb,
Yeah, that's all right.
your camera's on the ceiling. Lower your camera.
Actually, yeah.
Now that's nice. You got a strawberry there. That's nice. You had more to say? Please.
I've got an orange face, just a lighter orange.
These are homegrown tomatoes.
Yeah.
Not my home. Nice.
Reminds me of 999 Haynes. Not
Yeah,
tomatoes.
no. I forgot what it was just an observation I've been making about people because I always had a goal back when I was, you know, one of the younger people on our staff because I went on staff because I was impressed with the more senior people, I guess you'd say, the people that have been doing it longer and their way of being and all that and how they were with people. And then I've watched myself over the years here and getting into different levels of caring and like trying to convince and being passionate and everything. And the other night I was invited for dinner somewhere and there was a woman there who probably like Diane Dalton, you know, has a lot of skills. Like she's an astrologer and this kind of reader and that kind of reader and has like really a deep understanding of everything. And her energy was so much of trying to convince me and trying to not sell me, but, you know, I've been there. I could feel it. It almost felt like saying, hey, just relax, like, you know, peace. It's all good, you know, which I kind of did. But I was glad that I wasn't in that place anymore. Like, I saw how, you know, beautiful she was and everything, and just that people are sometimes desperate to connect. They have everything, but they don't have the connection that makes them feel, or the reflex to do that, or awareness they can do it any time.
One thing I liked in our conversation with her is that we did not fall into the traps. One of the traps is she wanted us to defend and debate her so she could feel better about what she's doing. She feels so onerous that she's like a Rhea Swift, that she has to take responsibility for them and figure it all out, and so she's thrown into this thing.
You know, Rhea's more like an ally, though. Rhea's like, oh, this is great. I'm going to go, thanks so much. I'm going to go use this in my work, you know? Like, yeah. Sometimes applies it to it. This woman thinks it's something so different and so Like, and she's scared of, well, she expressed something that's true for a lot of people. She got scared by buyers or scared by the fact that she wears what's
And then Ria did it. She tried it at least.
Yes, true. Yes.
She does it, basically, or kind of does it, or does it.
Yeah.
Her getting ran with it, like a lot of people did. And
Much as she does, yeah.
she's aligned, where this person's not aligned yet. Like, she doesn't get that we're on her side, and that, we always have been. She's adversarial, and I think that comes from other triggers. That's what I mean. There's like how she reacted to buyers, or how people, a lot of my friends are like that, or they think, well, what's the point? I've listened to it over and over, and there's no point here.
Now, okay, I'm going to come in. You're talking about her in this meeting. Now, you've all heard the expression barking up the wrong tree, right?
Sure.
Okay. Now, what you did in your Facebook dialogue was great. That was fine. In this meeting, talking about her is barking up the wrong tree. So if that's barking up the wrong tree, who should you be talking about?
Well, we have been directing this at the other people who are listening to this conversation. We've seen it online, but also how we are in ourselves in presenting and dealing with people and talking to people. So we're really talking about ourselves and about being effective with other people. Ross and I were very aware that we were writing to everyone out there. We're writing for ourselves, about ourselves, to everyone who is listening, not just this woman. We're just using that as a oil.
You weren't writing to the woman at all.
No, right.
Because the woman has shut you out.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no point in speaking to her or writing to her.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you speak to her in front of everybody else, you're talking to them.
Yeah.
How many people do you think are listening to this?
Well, it depends on if how many. Once they see this and they get involved, they might reread it.
I think a lot of people anyway.
Probably in the tens.
I had one of my friends. One of my friends, Ariette, was sent something on Skype. She goes, "What did I just miss a message? What did you say? I didn't do my moral responsibility." I was talking to somebody else because I guess it goes through on the side. You know how you see.
Yeah.
And so commented on so and that caught his eye. Like he was like,
"Oh, that was a good one." Yeah.
Like, what did I do wrong?
We're smart enough to tell people about this.
Yeah.
Barb, you were great in this conversation.
Oh.
And,
absolutely.
And that was good restraint you saw about yourself. Oh boy, I might want to argue here, or you just said I'll keep this.
Well, you know what?
Perfect.
What I haven't actually heard you discuss is how you think this was affecting the onlookers who were watching this brawl. Whenever two people start fighting in the street, this crowd gathers and they make this enormous circle. So in your enormous circle, the people watching you and Diane brawl, how were they affected, do you think?
Well,
I think they got curious about the units, what it is, and, I think it was a very good opportunity to explain who we are and what we do.
So, you think it made them curious to check out what the hell we were talking about?
Yes.
Right. Okay, good one. Does anybody see anything else it might be doing?
yeah, it turns them off and says, "Oh, these people, and they don't want to deal with it." I mean.
Yeah, they compartmentalize it. I'm sure there's some people talking there in private conversations right now, like, oh, I get it. They've disguised it as a religion, or I don't know. I'm sure they.
Is anybody talking to you in private conversations?
Nope, no. But I don't think anybody has anything to say that they wouldn't say in public.
Okay.
Or some people like who are more power, might be saying, I don't know, who knows what they're saying.
Probably, you know what? I have to say that probably the people who are not turned off are not going to ever say anything. What they will do is possibly go check it out, as you were talking about.
Uh-huh.
You know, they'll Google it and they'll find the thing and that it's a cult, and they'll find the homepage and so on, and they'll make some kind of a conclusion.
Right.
Okay, so the fact is that this is the most exciting thing we've seen on Facebook for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly Facebook is pretty dull, It's like I post something and 3 people click like on it.
I just did get it. Speaking of private messages, I got an invitation for dinner with someone I don't even know, with all these people. all our friends would love to have you join us.
Really?
Yeah.
So you should definitely go.
Mm-hmm.
And who was that from?
Anita Atencio, and she's very pretty.
Ooh, well, then
She lives in Upper Saragordo, which is also a very pretty area.
Just tell us where you're going for invitation.
Yeah. So they invited Jordina too. She could be my bodyguard.
She can be my bodyguard.
That's why I have to hang out with such tall women.
So now the other,
Oh,
there are 2 trees that it's good to bark up with this thing. Actually, maybe there's more than 2, but another tree to bark up, in addition to the other people who are watching the dialogue, is that you seem to be, like when I was reading this, Barb, I have to say I was absolutely blown away by the stuff you wrote. And I was looking at what you wrote, and I said, I have not seen you get as good practice any other way as I saw you getting in Facebook in this dialogue. You were developing your character. You were developing what you say and who you are. It was brilliant. I was thinking, wow, I can't imagine. The producer that you met, the reality, did you run the outline with him?
No.
Can you see why you would want to do that?
Why I would want to do it? Yes.
Okay, tell me why.
Well, it's like I just did that with somebody last night too. It gives them a little more responsibility. Like they're like on your side. Like once they get an experience of it, and then it's like they're like, wow. I said, yeah, I know. Wow. Like, what do you think I should do with this? And they're like thinking. They're like, they're over on your side, saying, how can we get it over there? Rather than like, and it also just seems like it's doing something now that you shouldn't put off till later. Something you're gonna have to get anyway. I don't know. It's just a bonding experience. When people start getting their first signals and start knowing that, just even a light experience of the, what a shift in consciousness really feels like or looks like, or how powerful it is, then they start getting excited about it. So I could have had more of an ally in him.
Nicely said. Nicely said. Now, I have something I want to do with you. I want to play a role. And in this role, you're going to be him, and I'm going to be you.
Okay.
And
just so you know, I'm going to be on my phone. I have a nurse coming. I'm going down to my father's apartment, but I'm going to be on my phone in a minute, so I'll be listening, but I may not answer.
very good.
Okay. Thanks, Greg.
Now, okay, I'm going to be you. And the outline is over. We have done the outline.
Okay.
And what's the guy's name?
Jordan.
Okay, Jordan. And Jordan got signals and felt different, and Jordan's got a big grin on his face, and Jordan actually clicked to follow us on Twitter. He's He's following the Pure Drive Twitter feed.
Yep.
Jordan has promised to come to the meeting Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
And Jordan got a password. You showed him this homepage and sign up, and he said, "Oh hell, why don't I just? I'm never. If I don't do it now, I'll probably never do it." And he joined. So he got 159. The year kit is now $159. And he got a year kit, so you're going to get 80% of that. So you got money coming from this, and you're pretty pleased. And I'm you, and you're him, and so now the next thing happens. And this is it. Okay? Ready?
Okay.
We're going to go into this. You know, this needs to be a reality TV show. Because a reality TV show of this will save millions of lives in the first season. Millions of people will be walking around who wouldn't be. You know, just like a lot of people watch The Biggest Loser and they lose weight, you know. It works.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Would you like to produce this show?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for new stuff. I mean, I don't make the final decision, but I will certainly present it. What we usually get is what's called the treatment, like a little, you know, like a description of how you see it looking. That I can take, you know, to the meeting, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, that's what we do. We discuss the different, you know.
That's great.
suggestions and
Okay, well, that's fine.
Okay.
Tell you what, let's you and I have an arrangement.
Okay.
I will save the lives, and you do the writing.
Yeah.
How about that?
Okay.
Partners, buddy. Here, shake on it. Now, if you need me to sit down with you while you write it, I will do that.
Yes.
We should do this immediately and get this show on the air.
Yeah. Why not? It's a positive thing.
Huh. Okay. See, once you've run the outline with somebody, if they're any good at all, they work for you.
Right.
Like if they tested and they got signals and they know it's real and all that, you're now their new boss. By the way, here's your next coaching client.
Yeah.
See, you have to remember when you meet somebody with money, it's like, you know, Susie came over to me years ago, and she said, there's a guy over there who signed up for everything. He's paid $50,000. He pays everything completely. He doesn't give deposits. He just pays for the thing. And there's one more thing that he needs to sign up for, and if you talk to him about it, he probably will. And I talked to him about it, and he did. And this is what you need to remember, that here's a person who actually isn't, he's the un-Ajna. You know?
Yeah.
Like Ajna's a big success, but she doesn't have any money, and you love her, and you're happy to give her for free, you know, too. So that's fine. It's fine to give to people for free, you know? And ministers have to support themselves, so you look for the people in your congregation who can be your big donors. The guy you go to when the bell needs repairing.
Yeah.
You know, you have to find that guy so you can call him up when the roof is leaking on the little old ladies in the front pew are getting dripped on their heads.
Yeah.
You need somebody to call and say, we got to repair the roof.
Okay.
That was a funny thing. Many years ago, there was a movie I was watching about this woman, and she was helping kids, and she had this church building, and it needed the roof replaced. And one of her students like said, well, if you believe in God, why does this man, like, why can't God provide the money, which was like $3,000 or something, I don't know. So the woman like was really taken aback, and I guess she thought about it. And then a couple days later, a reporter came and wanted to write an article about her and wanted to pay her, and she said, well, is $3,000 enough? And the woman just started laughing. and then the woman said, well, is that not enough? We could go 5, or something. She just kept laughing.
Manifesting, baby, manifesting.
That's right, but it took her student like pointing out to her that she had to have faith in herself and in God, I'll never forget that part of it. That was the high. But that was one of the probably the moments that Baba would take everybody to the movies to see and then leave. After.
I think what you wrote here is fucking brilliant here, where you said that Diane moved us all to a higher level of the scale of caring. And that is absolutely right. Thank you, Barb.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That is absolutely right. And you see, one thing is I can't find this thing on your Facebook wall.
I put it back on there. Just refresh your page.
Okay, now here's the thing about something like this. Number one, this was a big action that you took starting this. And what you did was you started a war.
Well, I said something that was pretty bold, and
Yeah, you broke. See, the thing is, you
I made a
broke
claim.
rule number 1. Rule number 1 is don't talk about Immunix, and you talked about Immunix. You just happened to do it in the only place where it works.
Yeah.
See, if you were having a meeting and you started talking about Immunix, it'd kill the meeting. I mean, somebody like Diane would come along and kill the meeting for you.
I mean, also, what really got this point?
When you do it here in Facebook,
yeah.
And you start this enormous dialogue. Do you know there are dialogues on Facebook that last for months?
Yeah, I've actually seen some of those. Really?
They have thousands of comments.
Huh.
They have thousands of comments. Let me ask you, in terms of the people watching this dialogue, what is the level of caring that you are at, Barb?
That I'm at? But how would I care about them?
Yeah.
I'm pretty high up. I mean, it's really interesting.
Okay, test it. What level are you at? Are you at the highest level?
I think I'm at the highest level.
Detached?
Yeah, I really do.
Okay,
Yeah.
You look detached in these comments. That when you write these things,
yeah,
you look detached. You look like you're speaking to the far, far end of the top balcony.
Right.
So everybody can hear you.
I mean, the people that I was sort of like aiming it at are the guy who's got, all this money and is basically building a whole, he's just as bad as people who sell, chemotherapy or something when it's not necessary. He's capturing all these sick people and telling them, hey, you're sick and there's people getting sick every 68 seconds, so you better buy my program so you can make sure you're taken care of when you lose your faculties. And I was thinking, like, this is so backwards. Like, why don't people prevent Alzheimer's or prevent things or talk about the other side of it too? Like, you don't have to get sick. Instead of designing how can we handle all these sick people that are going to be coming down the pike. So this is how it goes. Like, it's all about how many people are aging now and how quickly we're getting sick and how many more sick people are going to be. So they're creating a new industry and a new organization to manage all these old and sick people.
You notice that right now, as you're talking, you're descending the scale.
Okay.
You're headed down towards the coercive level. You notice that?
Okay, I guess I just kept entirely.
I mean, seriously, did you notice yourself doing that?
Yeah. I don't know.
And see, in this dialogue, you stayed at the high point the whole time. You should read this again. Now, if you want to do something like this, there are some things that you need to realize. And one of them is, you can't post anything else on your Facebook wall as long as this dialogue is going on.
You know, I better just leave it then.
You have to leave the thing there. Why would you take it off your Facebook wall?
I don't know. Every once in a while, it's like I almost want to take my old picture and everything off Facebook. I don't know. Sometimes I really get attacked by Facebook, or it just bothers me. It bothers me to be a target of, you know. I don't know. I don't know why.
So actually, what you're learning in this dialogue is to show yourself completely, be out there, and not to be in any way affected by the attack, which does come. There's the attack. It's right there. Mm-hmm. And to be, so that when you're talking to Jane Fonda and you get attacked, you will be able to carry it through. When you're doing the outline with this producer and somebody comes along and attacks you, this person walks over, hey, what are you doing? You know, and they attack you, and you'll be able to just continue to handle it. You're learning from this how to do this. So what you need to do is anything that's above it, this needs to be the top thing on your Facebook wall. Okay? So right now, go down your Facebook wall and take everything else off your Facebook wall. You can hide them. You don't have to delete them. You can just hide them.
I do that sometimes. It's like
when the dialogue is over, then you can hide it. When it's finished, when nobody's talking anymore. You're trying to get, by the way, it's not about you talking. You're trying to get other people talking, like Greg. Look at what Greg wrote. Do you think maybe that was good for him and that he developed?
Yes.
By doing that. So you did something for, you know, like you gave Greg a push in consciousness. What about Ross? Ross, do you think you developed from writing something there?
Sorry, I'm holding myself again. I'll be on the phone now.
So you want this thing to stay at the top of your Facebook wall, and this is you, this dialogue, and who knows, maybe there'll be thousands of people who write in it. Or maybe it will just peter out in a day or so, which is what it will probably do, you know, and then you can go back to living your normal life. But you know what? This was probably better. It was probably more valuable. You probably, and we all probably got more out of this than all the other things you've done on Facebook.
Yeah, maybe this is the thing I've been waiting for on Facebook, and I should just, that's it, that's me, and that's Facebook, so I should just leave that and not touch it for a while.
And Barb, see, there are people who read my things. Sometimes I hear comments, people, you know, that I know that they've read things on Facebook, people in my acting class or the teachers or other people I see, and they make a comment about it. So you are helping me and helping all of them also. It's not your own little world, you know, your own specific little world. It's a bigger world. I mean,
and some things that you guys are doing or saying with my friends or whatever, however you're sort of positioning me, like I've been noticing a big change lately when I walk, when I'm outside, you know, around people like, you know, they're more respectful to me, and they people that I didn't know before are saying hello, and you know, I'm being treated differently, or I manifest different things. Like I'm attracting more respect. These people are polarized in a good way, or sorting. It happened again last night. Like I don't even know. There's a way that people must introduce me, like, you know, and they say, who is that? And then they must describe me or something, because when I get to the event or the party or whatever, they already kind of know, or they treat me a particular way, which is cool. Like I walked into this thing the other night with that person. She's like, "Oh, it's so good to finally meet you."
Well, you know, I have 2,000 Facebook friends. Ross, how many do you have?
Don't remember.
Greg?
It's almost 2,000, a bit less maybe. 1,000.
Greg, how many have you got?
1,800.
See, a lot of our friends overlap, so they're getting it from all of us. You know, if they don't see what you send through the news feed, they may see what I send through it.
Right.
So we can reach people this way.
I think people watch those movies too, because everybody, also most of my close friends are all talking to me about, like, wanting to find ways for me to have more money and everything. It's funny. And they're all concerned.
Well, when they say that, just ask them for some money. Just give me some money now. That's it. Please give me some money now.
I said that to somebody last night, and somebody else overheard me, and they said, "Now there's a good girlfriend." I said, "What are you talking about?" I was kidding. He goes, "Just give me the money." I was talking to my friend. I go, oh boy. Okay. I'm trying to find this thing. Oh my. Oh, there it is.
So I'm going to assume that Facebook is now more pleasurable for you because you're seeing how you can honor yourself, yes?
Well, I see the level at which I can't go below. I mean, I've been getting kicked in, like, this is the same thing with relationships and what I've learned from the asking for money thing. Like yesterday, there was a person that I just, it's just the equivalent of, like, Diane Dalton. She's also, not equivalent, but same strata of person in the sense that she's a practitioner of something and fairly successful at her thing, has a practice. Came in here and sort of asked, well, what do you do? And, we did it. And she was also, like, slightly taken aback by the video or just the look of things or my energy or whatever it was. But that's fascinating at the same time. Like, she didn't want to totally give, but she wouldn't quite leave, And even at the end when she was leaving, she kept turning around like she knew. Like, I let her say no. Do you want to give something? She said, no, not right now. I was like, okay. But then she wouldn't, like, go. And she kept kind of hanging out, wanting more. And I felt like I'm learning how to at least draw the line more, just hold my own,
When you let me say this, Barb. When you run the outline with somebody, number one, when you move on to part two, don't go back to part one. Okay? Just don't go back.
Yeah.
And that way, that's how much time you're supposed to give.
Yeah.
And then you go on to part three when you're done with part two. And they either fail or they push through. That is them, not you. You don't control that. Don't try to.
Well, that's what changed. Like, I realized that's her, not me. Like, like, it wasn't affecting me, and that was a good level of immunity I haven't been on maybe ever, especially given my circumstances, which I thought affected my immunity more.
Well, look, let's ask, am I at a higher level of caring?
Yes.
Because you're not coercing. When you gave Boots $450, what level of caring were you at about Boots?
Coercive.
Yeah, coercive. So you're not, you're. It's easier for you to come up the scale, One of the things I was curious about in this dialogue, she kept talking about scientific validation, and everybody's watching this, and I was wondering why you never mentioned your negative medical test.
Oh yeah, I actually thought I did, and then I don't know.
Well, the nice thing about it is you still can.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well,
and also, you know what?
I feel like getting retested again, actually.
I think it's much better to let it wait and wait and wait, and not mention it. And then, when just as everybody, it's like everybody is watching you, and it looks to them like you're laying on the ground and you're getting punched, you know, and beaten, you know, across the face, you know, with the fist, you know. And then all of a sudden you just clout your opponent, you know, with this thing. Well, I did get a negative medical test in 2004, you know, and it's like, what? Okay.
I know. That's why I can be so cocky, because I actually have thought all these things over and been in all these things and live before these situations. And I patterned myself after Muhammad Ali. His rope-a-dope. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what Uhtred used to do. He would pretend to slip, and his opponent would come in at him, and he'd kill his opponent.
Yeah, I just wait till they get tired themselves out, and then bam. Yeah, but it's good. I appreciate these people. I think on some level they're all trying to help or just clarify things for themselves and others, whether they know it or not. So that was fun. And I ain't never yet. Yeah, like you said, I can still pull that out. I might get retested again. I think it would be fun to get retested.
Sure.
How you doing, Ross? Are you bored?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Ross loves this stuff.
So you give me some.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She totally loves this stuff.
Sometimes I feel like I have lead feet in the sense that I'm not out traveling around more, doing more things. It's pretty.
Well, it seems as though this is a form of traveling, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like I cover a lot of territory and online and all the different people and even around town here, but it keeps like I'm raised. Like I sort of like I know.
No, I mean just on Facebook.
Yeah, that's true. It's been getting some good stuff out
I mean,
there.
you're talking to people in India in this dialogue.
True.
You have no idea who's watching. You know, Africans are listening. You can say things that are relevant to them. Okay, now another thing that I was going to get into is that, you know, the woman you were just talking about who wouldn't give you anything, and she's a practitioner and all that stuff,
Yeah,
and she kept wanting more. She is not your customer.
I could tell that. That's one of the reasons I was so confident. Like I really didn't care whether she liked me a lot or liked this or not, because I could tell that she sort of wanted me to care. Like it was almost a form of attack, kind of. It felt like it's kind of like she. And I just didn't, but I didn't lower my level. You know, I could feel it happening, and I realized what was happening.
Hey, Greg, can you hear me?
Tap once or yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm sort of involved here with the nurse. So
All I wanted you to just hear
in the back of my mind.
I wanted you to just hear one thing, which is that I noticed that you invited Diane to meet with you and learn how to do it, and I was surprised because she's the last person in the world who you would ever want to spend any time with.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't think she'd say yes. I didn't think she said yes, but I said that really for all the other people.
And you know, the truth is, the other side of it is, if she did say yes, it might be interesting.
Yeah, right. I thought it'd be interesting.
So,
I could learn from it. So,
and you could run the outline with
really
her
for
just like
everybody else.
anybody. Yeah, sure, you could run the outline with her just like anybody else.
Exactly. Right.
So it was good. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it
I'm
was
still
a very
talking
good
back on you.
idea.
What, Rod?
I think it was a very good idea because this woman started criticizing us without even having tried to do it.
I know.
So first you try, and then you
Yeah.
can criticize if you want.
Exactly. That's what I noticed too. She didn't do her homework. She didn't really do the research. She was making.
Well, see, right now you're doing it again.
Okay.
You're talking about her.
Okay.
There is nothing to talk about Diane. The only people it's worth talking about are the onlookers and also yourselves, like what you're getting out of doing this, which is a good thing.
Right. Yeah, that's the fun part of having the onlookers. I like a good girl.
You're getting, even if there aren't any onlookers, someday there will be. And you're getting very good practice you know, pretending that there are onlookers, even if there are none.
True, I always pretend that there's onlookers.
Well, in your case, there probably are. And also, I notice when I've put things like this on my Facebook wall, I have gotten people, you know, talking too, but not as many as you,
Yeah.
Barb. And I think that this is, you know, it's a good thing for you to do this. Do you find that having this Facebook dialogue makes it easier to do the other things that you do, like asking 9 people a day for money?
Doing this kind of stuff, I'm kind of one of those people that's better when I do it all. Plus, I've been doing it all.
I mean, do you find that, like, doing the Facebook comments gives you more courage to walk up to people and ask them for money?
Yeah, and vice versa. I think that asking or confronting asking even has made me more articulate and like on my focused in my Facebook comments.
Great.
I mean,
Because something, you know, and also as you were saying, I liked what you were saying about how if you want to go farther, go in a group.
yeah,
If you want to go faster, fine, but sometimes it's good to go fast, especially if you don't leave the group behind.
yeah. That's what I go fast when I need to. Like I used to be a sprinter actually, but I feel like I've learned to not sacrifice my group when I do that. I mean, sometimes depending on your function or what you're doing, working on in the moment, sometimes you have to like tear off, really fast and come back.
You know what I found? What I found very useful in this was, like, it reminds me of things I've read that Bernard Cornwell would write about, like this, like especially the books on the Civil War, where some guy, would just take a couple of friends and he'd go forward, to check out something, and all of a sudden he'd started a battle. And they had this entire division of Yankees shooting at them, and then their guys had come running up with the rebel yell, and rout the Yankees, and this is how things get. Remember the beginning of Dances with Wolves? The very beginning.
I don't remember that.
It's a Civil War battle, and they're entrenched on two sides of a field, and no one will walk across the field, and they're not firing at each other because they can't hit anybody because they have all these things up. And he gets shot in the foot, and they're going to cut his foot off. So he puts his boot back on, and do you remember this? You remember any of this? Is it coming back to you? You should watch this movie again because it's so much fun. You really, it's like if you don't remember it, it's time to watch it again because it's so great. And he gets on his horse and he starts riding in between, across the field, in between the two sides, hoping, that somebody will shoot him dead and then he won't get his foot cut off. But what happens is he starts the battle. One guy can do that, and the general comes over to him and he says, "Thank you, son. We would have been here for weeks, and you started the battle." And he said, "I'm going to save your foot." And he gets a surgeon up, and they save his foot, and then he goes west. That's how the movie starts, and that's what you did with this thing on Facebook. You started a battle. And so you gave us a chance to practice and also to win and also to feel good about ourselves and, all the other things that go with it, and to express ourselves and, clarify what we want to say.
Nelson Mandela. It all started with Nelson Mandela.
It absolutely did.
I was minding my own business, and I was sitting there, and I started discussing Nelson Mandela with Jordina and Nancy. It made me start realizing how important it is to, not hide. And then as I was saying that, I was in the middle of something, and Jordina goes, "We got to take your picture right now." And she was on that pose picture, And I thought, I hate this. Like suddenly, like, although it was, my mother used to do that. Everything I was in, like, I was, you know, it was like getting lost. And then she was like posing me and fixing my hair and doing things. And I thought, okay, whatever. And then we put that picture up there, and I'm like, why did I do that? And I realized, okay, I have to play at that level. If that's how I am. When people see me, I might as well just be that person.
That's right.
And so, you know, I tried to, like, put that underneath me and, like, rise up a little bit, and that's how that started. So, well, that's good. And I have good people around me, too, thanks. And what else is there to do this place? Go out. I like fighting. Well, you know, it's like what Fran said, too, when you have God behind you. It's really smart that we made what we do into a you know, ministry, because it kind of is that. I mean, it definitely is that. It's easy to fight when you know that you can cure things and I can let go anytime. Gives me more confidence.
See, the things that I thought were brilliant were about how you handled the issues. You know, you really did address the issues. Like, she was talking about responsibility, and you said so many bottom line things about responsibility. And then she was saying, you know, well, you have this obligation if you use the word cure, you know, and you said what, you know, you saw about that, and she started telling you what to do, you know, and you said, no, sorry, no, you know, and you just didn't buy it at all.
No.
It's that simple. You just refuse to buy it.
I bought a lot of things in my life, but I ain't buying that one.
Yeah, so you just, you know,
I could tell it was fun because when I walked out this morning, I was kind of like laughing to myself. It was like a fight club. Like I felt like, okay, that was funny. That was funny. I didn't get hurt. I was sort of like looking down at myself like, I'm funny. You know, that was good.
You know, another interesting thing is that Diane obviously likes you.
Yeah, she does. She said some things, like we've had some interactions in the past.
And you know, you might actually have the makings of a friendship there if she could get her head on straight about who you are. Like, she doesn't actually understand who you are, but you really showed yourself and made it clear who you are in this dialogue.
I think I made it clear about what I represent, which is always just been kind of like what I've been thinking about lately. Like, people used to ask me that, or like, especially the young people who use that word, what do you represent? Yeah, that's cool.
There's something I wanted to mention about the scale of interests. Not the scale of caring now, the scale of interest, which is that you have to have the lower ones handled. So you do have to represent in order to get above representing into giving and getting.
Yeah. Well, I'm sort of caught in that. That's like, again, it's sort of like the funny loop I'm in. That's what stimulated all this, was me watching this guy, like, spend day after day after day, like, you know, with, well, I mean, I don't want to go to that level, but like, I'm ready to be up to the scale. I mean,
you did represent, and beyond, you gave. You gave and you asked. In this dialogue, you were giving, you were asking, and it was because you're right, you were representing, you had that handled so you could give and take.
Yeah, that's the other thing I think. Like, I always think about those old information sheets that you used to make for your courses, like the, you know, life games or whatever, little day courses and things. And before I was really that involved, I remember thinking, like, gosh, I got it from this piece of paper here. I got it. This is, you know, it was instructive, like you gave a gift of, you know, in just what you wrote. So I think that I try to use Facebook and Twitter that way sometimes, is to give, like, some valuable thing, and then I think people, then they come back, like, wonder what she's going to say today, or what does she have for me today, like, it becomes a more valuable page, very useful page. And there's some kind of training in there. So,
frankly, you know, I have to say that when the chips were down and you were talking, you really were light years ahead of where I thought you were. I mean, truly, you know, I would take you anywhere.
Talked to a lot of people in my life.
You're someone I would go into battle with. I trust you. And you know, that's big for me to say that. I mean, that's a big deal. That's a very big deal.
Sharpened my sword. Yeah. Well, thank you. I look forward to be trusted by people. Yeah, it's good. Trust myself more.
Now we are going to make some movies with Ross now, okay?
Yay!
I've been hoping that Greg would come back so I could have him in the movies too. And what I want to do is make movies about things for Ross to do. Ross, are you on mute still?
I'm listening to you.
Yeah, did you hear what I just said?
I'm dressed secure. Byron knows why I'm saying this.
Yeah, you're ready to make the movies, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Now I want you to center your face in the camera, though. It's a little bit off to the. You're a little off to the side.
Let's see what I can do.
Maybe Can you swing your chair around?
Yes.
Can you swing your chair, maybe?
No. No.
A little more over the same direction. Over in the same direction. A little bit more.
Wait, because I have my exercise bicycle in the way. Okay.
God, you got that.
How about you?
This is good. That's
Okay.
very good. Okay, that's perfect. And Barb looks pretty good. I'm looking at those muscles, Barb. Looking at those.
Yeah, look at that. The Jennifer Franklin effect.
Looking at those muscles.
I know. It doesn't take much.
Barb, I got really skinny.
You did?
My arms look like yours.
Uh-oh.
They're these like
You
skinny,
were always pretty thin.
skinny arms with muscles. Yeah, well now I'm 125 pounds.
Wow, that's pretty thin.
I'm telling you.
Oh well.
Okay. Well, now here we go. So, Ross, can you help somebody cure herpes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how would you go about it?
Do you want me to role play or what?
I don't know,
You have a
but
real person?
let's say somebody calls you and says, "I got herpes. You know, how do I cure it?" What would you say to them?
Okay. First of all, relax and
Okay.
say this.
All right.
Can I cure things? And pay attention to your hands. See if
Okay.
you get a twitch, a hand that gets hotter, some sort of a signal, okay?
Okay.
You understand me?
All right. Cut. That. So that's how you would help somebody cure herpes. You would show them how to get a signal, and then how to remove the herpes and so on. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what have you cured?
What have I cured?
What
Are
have
you
you?
asking me what
Yeah.
I have cured?
Yep.
I have cured anxiety attacks, the flu, the smoking addiction, backache, and lots of traumas.
So you've cured the flu. The flu is another viral-based disease, so presumably if you can
Yes.
cure the flu, you can cure herpes, right?
Yes,
Because if they're both viruses, so
virus.
if you can kill one
Yeah.
virus, you can probably kill a different virus.
yes,
Okay, so you could probably cure encephalitis or viral pneumonia or all these viral-based diseases. If you can cure one, you can cure them all. Yes.
yes.
Okay, and Now, another thing is, you happen to also be surrounded by people who have cured herpes. Like here are Franny and Barb, who have both cured herpes. And I
Yes.
want to ask Barb, how do you like what Ross is saying so far? And you could weigh in on this.
I think it's good. I think it's good that you've cured so many other things, and you're so confident. Yeah, I can see that she's in a really good place.
Well, she's been doing it for a year. How long have you been doing this, Ross?
For about 5 years.
So,
And the thing, it's a long time. And the thing I like that's different about you, or that I appreciate about you too, is well, you're a teacher by trade, but you also have a very good discipline to instruct others. And that's patience, and you're systematic, and that's a good profile for someone who wants to help somebody else learn.
sure.
I haven't often been that way myself because I move so quick, but
So-
you're like a good, like a support person.
So these things would recommend Ross as somebody to help somebody cure their herpes. Now, Ross, how many people have you helped cure things of all kinds? Over
I don't
10?
really know.
Over 10 people?
Yes.
Over 50?
No, I don't think so.
How about over 30?
Yeah, maybe, probably.
Okay, so you've helped, let's say, around 30 people cure things. They were all people you knew. They were, because you're an English teacher, right?
Yes.
So there might people who were learning English under you. You live in Turin,
Yeah.
near Turin, Italy,
Yes.
and so you can give lessons in Italian,
See,
Yes?
right? So now, give me, I want you to say some things to the Italian people in Italian, and I'm going to tell
Okay.
you. I'll tell you what to say. So the first thing is just kind of give the Italian people a summary of what we've said so far here.
Ok. Io ho curato diverse cose con questa tecnica e ho curato l'influenza, che è una malattia basata sul virus. Perciò, se ho curato una cosa basata sul virus, posso aiutare una persona a curare l'herpes, che è un'altra malattia basata sul virus e può essere rimossa.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add to that? You think you've got it? You've got it all? You said it all?
Per riuscire a curare qualche cosa, per iniziare, è importante chiedersi: sono in grado di curare qualcosa, e vedere se c'è una risposta nelle mani, una pulsazione nelle dita, oppure una mano che diventa più calda dell'altra, o qualunque tipo di segnale diverso dal solito. Quello vuol dire sì. L'assenza di quel segnale vuol dire no. Quindi a questo punto è possibile sapere se si è curata o meno la malattia, se ha una risposta.
Nice. Now, I want to give Franny a chance. Now, Franny, Barb, you've cured herpes too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because people I've cured it in the sense that I don't get any outbreaks, and if I even have the sense that I am, I just haven't, I don't have it, but I have to get retested, I guess, in order for that to hold or something.
Well, you did get a negative medical test
Yeah, I got
in
a
2004
negative
on
medical
herpes and Epstein-Barr.
Mm-hmm. And then I was a little reckless, and I got it back again, and I cured it again, but I
Okay, so that's your story in a nutshell. But you actually did cure it and get a negative medical
Yeah.
test once in your
Oh.
life, anyway.
Yeah.
And how many people would you say you've helped to cure herpes?
I don't know, thousands, I guess, hundreds, thousands.
Well,
I don't know.
in person, where you actually spoke to the person, is it over 50?
Yeah,
Over 100?
probably, yes, I'm testing, yes.
Okay.
Maybe 300 in person.
What about HIV? Have you helped over 50 people?
Yeah, I work. I like working with HIV more. I don't know why. I've never had it myself, but I like working. I've had a lot of positive results with HIV. Maybe in person, maybe 10, 12 people, and I don't know how many people have watched the movies.
Well, of course, it feels more important to help somebody cure HIV.
Yeah, maybe it's because they take it more seriously too. That was the point I was trying to make about herpes. People think it's just a silly thing, and they try an embarrassing thing. But with
Speaking
HIV,
of which, we need to get Max on the phone and talk to him.
yeah, I know he's particularly good.
And maybe after we finish making this movie, Greg could just call him and he could hook him right in with us now.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, but I want to ask Franny to comment on Ross first.
In general, or just...
As a person who could help people cure herpes.
Well, Ross is fantastic. I've worked with, she's worked with me, and I've gotten, I think, really important results that I never saw before. But she's very relentless, but also very grounded in the material that we teach on the website, so that she's not just playing around or analyzing or anything like that. She is really doing the actual work, so that whatever gets worked on and removed isn't really coming back. It's, we've done it.
Now, you cured herpes years ago.
Right.
That was in the 1990s when we started doing this, and that wasn't with Ross, you just cured it yourself.
Right.
Have you ever helped somebody else cure herpes?
No.
Okay. Well, good. Of course, you've helped everybody we've ever helped because you're the...
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, I just never personally interacted. Well, I probably personally interacted with somebody about it, but I don't know if they actually cured it.
Or they may have cured it, but then a whole bunch of other people interacted with them also.
Right.
So I think it's important for people to know, Ross, that you have a team behind you.
Yes.
And that I cured herpes too, and that we're all here for people, and that, when they join us in the Twitter feed, we'll all be talking to them and supporting them in curing their herpes. It's not just going to be you, but that you can be a very good connection for somebody.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And I want you to say that in Italian, what I just said.
Ok? È molto importante che la gente sappia che io posso aiutare le persone a curare l'herpes, ma non sono solamente io. Con me c'è tutto questo Cure Team, questa equipe della cura che mi sostiene, e quindi non sono sola, ci sono tutti loro.
Nice. Thank you. That's great. I also wanted to mention to everybody that I don't know if you're all watching Linda and Christine, but I just want to point something out about, Christiana and Linda, is that Christiana and Linda both came to a meeting, and the night they came to the Monday night meeting, they signed up to be on Twitter with us and to be on our Twitter feed. And they were reading the tweets, and I called them and told them to read them, and they started saying a few things in Twitter. And 1 week later, both of them had passwords to the web college, and both of them were curing herpes. And we have never gotten this kind of result from anything else, including Facebook. So just so you know, forget about asking people to be your Facebook friends. Get them into the Twitter feed.
Okay.
Because it's in the Twitter feed that they will be surrounded by other people who cure things. And let's face it, we're talking to each other in the Twitter feed because, Barb, you got like 41 followers and I got, 32 or something. So, it's us talking to each other and it's working. we are curing things a lot faster and going a lot farther in a group.
Yep.
And they will too. They will go much further in a group. I think that if you want somebody to actually cure it, you got to get them into that Twitter feed, because they will not cure it. And not only that, but they'll follow it, but they won't look at it. You've got to get them to look at what's there
Right.
every day, and to write things every day, and because they got to cure things every day.
Right.
The day they skip, they're dead. It's over. It's like you with your 20-mile march game to, raise $30 a day, Barb. You miss a day and you don't raise $30, and all of a sudden it's a week that's gone by. Where was I? Oh.
If I miss a person, I can traumatize myself with it. Yeah.
Yep.
True.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy. Yep. So funny.
So
funny.
this is those two, did you notice what I wrote to them? I said 2 pups, rivals in cure. Did you see that?
I did.
Yep, that's them. And they will out-cure each other. You better believe they know they started at the same time, and they're going to be watching each other.
Mm-hmm.
My God, look at that enormous cat. That is the biggest cat I've ever seen, Ross.
She's a bit fat. She's on a diet.
Or maybe you're just a small person and I never realized it.
She's on a diet to gain weight?
No, to lose weight. But she's always hungry.
Ross, how
But I
tall?
had a cat who was even bigger. My Simone was,
My God.
well, maybe not double, but almost.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah, he was 8 kilos.
Wow.
This white cat is 5, only 5.
Wow.
Simo was a little lion.
I believe you. Ross, how tall are you?
I am 1 and 68.
So that's 5'4", 5'5".
I do it in foot and inches. Can you say it in feet and inches?
We'll
No, absolutely not. Don't ask, please. Don't ask me to do that.
Okay. Well, anyway, so this is good.
1.68, you say?
Yeah.
It seems to me that we are understanding that the action is not just talking to people. It's talking to people in the right way, in the right context, saying the right things to them, asking for the right things, doing things like in line, in sequence. And you know what? When you do the outline with somebody, open the outline, Barb, on your smartphone and refer to it.
Yeah.
Don't try to remember the outline. Look at the outline. That's what the teachers did when you used to teach the course, right?
Yes.
And you looked at the outline from time to time, didn't you? And then you'd walk out and you'd talk to people, but you went back and you'd look at the outline again.
That's true. It helped a lot.
Oh God, you would have made a huge mess if you hadn't had that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
And the funny thing was that every so often, while you were up teaching, there'd be an assistant who'd walk up, take your outline, open up the book, remove a bunch of pages and throw them in the wastebasket, and put a bunch of new pages in, and when you went back to the outline, it was different.
Right.
And you had to keep remembering what the outline was like.
Right. That's what kept it so good. It's true.
Now, let's take your producer again, okay?
Yeah.
And what I want to do with your producer is I want to be in part 3. I want you to be your producer, and this is a completely different role play than the other one. Okay? This one is where we're I'm just going to see if I can do part 3. Let's say that the whole rest of the outline went well.
Okay.
Okay? And so now, what's his name again? Jerry? Jordan.
Jordan Wiles.
Okay. Okay. You know, Jordan, like, you've done pretty well with this, and I can see that you're kind of happy and you're enjoying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I don't know if are you aware that this is a matter of life and death?
For me or for people, I can see for some people it would be, I
I'm
guess.
talking about for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you aware of that?
I haven't been. I can see that there are probably a lot more people out there that could use some help than I realize, though. I'm open to seeing that. People that wouldn't get the thing.
No, I
anyway.
mean actually that you could die physically if
If I didn't.
if you lose, like you have this little connection with me that you've made, okay?
Mhm.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
somebody you met at a party and a friend introduced us and you like me and I'm a nice person and you're a nice person. Then you're going to fly back to LA tomorrow. We'll probably never see each other again, right?
Yeah.
Okay, wrong. Because if we never see each other again, you will almost certainly die of something you don't need to die of. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I hear it. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Why don't you just test? Let me give you something to test. Okay? Does doing this prevent accidents?
Yes.
For example, car crashes.
Yes.
Okay. So actually, you know, you don't need a disease to die. You could die. You could die just fine from a drunk driver hitting you.
Right.
You with me? Tomorrow.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that, but plus it isn't even that. You know how you felt before you started doing this tonight? Well, you're going to go, you know, you're going to be feeling that way again tomorrow. You're going to be back in your life, you know. And here's another question. Will I make different decisions if I'm doing this throughout the day?
Yeah, I think different things will present themselves to me too. Yes, I got a yes on that one.
It alters everything.
Yeah.
Because, test this, have any of my answers come from God?
Yes.
All right, cut. Now this is what the outline looks like when you're really doing it. If you're not trying to, like, you know, do what it says to do in the thing,
Right.
but you're sort of supposed to, like, see it says here, apprise her of her situation, condition.
Yeah.
And what was I doing?
You were telling him scenarios what could happen.
I was apprising him, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That's what it looks like to apprise somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And when they walk away from you, Barb, make no mistake, if they're not thoroughly apprised, you blew it. You did everything great, you worked hard, you know, you spent a half an hour, you threw your time down the toilet, the person's going away, you're never going to see him again, there's nothing that's going to come of this, and they're going to get killed in a car crash tomorrow. Just kidding, but it could happen.
I hear you.
So,
Okay.
do not fuck part 3 up. It's the most important. The whole point of this thing is to get to part 3.
Yeah.
That's why you're doing it, you know, so you could apprise the person of his situation. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to be Jordan and you be me, okay?
Okay.
And you're doing part 3, so go ahead.
I'll get the outline up. So, do you realize that what you just did can save your life?
Oh, gee, my finger moved when you said that.
You have a good connection. Yeah, so,
Wow.
it can save the lives of people that you love.
I got a yes?
Right. Okay. I asked if not doing this could, ask if doing this could avert, disasters.
What? What'd you say?
If this would avert a disaster for you or the people you love.
Yes.
Okay. So again, what we have to look at what we're going to do about this. Like, how do we proceed? Like, you might just go home and I could not see you again, or we could take what we just tested on and what we know and move forward with it. Like, disseminate it faster. So, do you see how you could contribute or help me with this?
Cut. Actually, you're mixing part 2 in with it.
Oh, sorry.
What we're doing here, this is really just about him. See, this is about him handling himself. Helping you would come after that. I need to find my outline. Okay, you get it off your page. Okay. I'm seeing something to change in the outline, which is the main pointer that you have to give people is that you do not go a day without looking at that Twitter feed.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then you will be in touch with me.
Well, I used to be like doing regular sessions with people. I used to always say, because I started seeing it happen, that like you're going to walk out the door and you're going to forget what we just did, or you're going to lose it.
You better believe it.
And I have to keep saying that or reminding people myself because. Okay, I got the outline now.
Yeah, you need to access that on your smartphone, You got to really train yourself on your smartphone to get the outline. Wherever you are, you need to be able to look at that outline.
Yeah.
So let's go back into that role play, and I'm him. I'll be in touch. I'm going to be fine. I think I've got it, and I'm gonna do it.
You're on Twitter, right?
Yep, I signed up for the Twitter feed.
Oh, you did? Oh, super.
A few minutes ago with you right in front of you. I clicked follow.
I watch that every day. Okay. And you have committed to watching that 4.5-hour movie, or have you watched that already?
I will watch it. Cut. Now, at this point, you're letting go of this person, and you don't know whether they're going to work out or not.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be okay. It might save time to let go of the person and see if they fly back into your orbit. Like, he knows about the meeting, he knows about the Twitter feed and so on. Let's see if he tweets, let's see if I get a tweet from him tomorrow. But the thing I'm thinking is, there's something like to ask for, like ask him to tweet tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Something, something that keeps you in touch. If you feel as though the person's doing well. If they're not doing well, obviously you don't need to be in touch with them. But if they are, then you want to stay in touch. So, and also when he follows you, you follow him. So you've got his Twitter, and you can always write to him on Twitter. Bingo. Anytime you can write to him. Like you write to him tomorrow. Are you doing it? How you doing? What's going on?
Yeah.
You can be his little conscience if you stay in touch that way. I've noticed that Twitter is like present but less invasive.
Yeah, it is.
Like people feel more comfortable tweeting than they do phoning, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like phoning is like this big, you know, you're always on for 15 minutes, but with a tweet it's just like you look at it, you can spend as much or as little time as you want.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Christiana and Linda did so well, because they could do it when they had time, and they could spend the amount of time they wanted to, but they could still completely show and express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we could all see them very clearly on Twitter.
Yes.
And I think that's why they did so well.
Yeah, yesterday was for the first time I used the Twitter feed, and it was a very good tool, a good thing to be able to show someone.
They are curing this herpes.
Mm-hmm.
The Twitter is enabling them to cure the herpes. Because they're just getting all this feedback. You know, if they get stuck, you know, they, like within a couple of hours, somebody who already has cured his herpes writes back to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes a huge difference to them, you know?
Yeah. I'm taking it more seriously too, because I realize in their curing of herpes, they are preventing heart disease, preventing dementia, preventing a lot of other stuff.
That's right.
Saves lives.
You know, what we're doing is we're creating a whole bunch of people who are going to live a very long time.
That's right.
And like, you know, like, so the meek really can inherit the earth. Because, you know, another word for the meek is the calm and clear, right?
True. The quiet, calm, and clear.
Yeah,
right?
meek people are calm, clear, quiet, you know. And this may be it, baby. We may be the meek that was prophesied in the Bible. We're going to inherit the earth. If we could just stay in the calm, clear place.
Yeah.
And if we don't stay in the calm, clear place, then we're giving up our birthright.
Yeah, that's a good point.
This is our birthright.
Yeah, these meetings are just kind of like a session for me. Like I have to remember to hold and keep what I've done, where I've taken myself during these get-togethers, and keep holding it through the days and build on it, because it gets the cumulative effect of these, which are almost like a session for me that I can use.
You know, I wanted to mention that last night, Franny and Greg and I, or maybe it was at lunch yesterday, we talked about Franny and Greg's relationship, and later on, Franny said that it was a really, really good conversation, and to me it felt like a real breakthrough for both of them. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw a lot of love there, and acceptance, and relaxation, and it was
I
common.
think that was important, the acceptance and, you know, the love. Like Franny is a lover. She'll love you for who you are and who I am. And all of us, you know, it's a great strength that she just keeps seeing who we are. And the behavior is just something that we access what's the dysfunction or the pathology or the positive.
Yeah.
Thing.
Seems like, you know, like when you see these, you know, kind of strict Christian things, it even says it in the Bible, and I listen to these stations on the radio sometimes, and they basically say, you know, if you're not communicating to every person you see and having your whole life about bringing people to, you know, to Jesus or to God, then you're, you know, kind of like in a betrayal. And in a way, it's kind of true. Like as long as I used to think if I just told everybody about the course and invited them, then my work was done at least. At least I invited them. And with this, like if you get people connected and you get people to know, like to refocus and see something bigger than what they're sitting in, then that's our work. And it's true, there's nothing else to do. So it should be like every single interaction or everything we do. Like that's what your life's kind of about, especially once you've kind of got it yourself. That's how you stay there. How I stay there, so it doesn't seem strange or unusual anymore, especially because so many people seem to be looking for something or want to remember that there's, a way.
Sure.
I like doing it.
Sure.
It's fun. That's what this interaction reminded me of. It's like kind of like a fun job. You get to wear the breastplate of righteousness.
Yeah, I would like that.
I know, me too.
Well, I wanted to tell you, here is the page that goes with Tuesday's topic meeting. New paragraph. I just tweeted it, and it's like it's on the particle attributes, and what it is the particle attributes by category.
Yeah.
So you see it? You guys look? How you looking at it?
I've been looking at that already.
Because this is our meeting for today. Here you see the home page of curedrive.org, which is the Cure College on the web that we have put here for you to come learn how to cure medically incurable diseases. Now, at the top of the page, the home page, which you should be on right here, and I want to recommend, if you have not already, get to this page by opening a tab. Do not turn this movie off. Open a tab so that you can still hear me talking. And leave this tab open and then go to this website. Now, the tally that you see, 132K, people ask, where does that come from? And if you notice, right above it, and this is, by the way, on every page in the Web College, it says Report Cure. If I click on that, now we document our cures. This movie that you're watching here is an example of that. This is a movie where people cure things on camera, and you watch them. You watch them curing things. For example, the woman, it takes you to fibromyalgia, where you see a lot of, or two people curing fibromyalgia, actually. And underneath it, there are many, many shows on flu. We had a flu hotline. And what you'll find with this is that people with similar conditions get parallel results. Like these people who cured their flu, or I don't think we ever had a person come in to cure the flu that, was just getting it. They all had it for a couple of days. There they are. And you hear their flu cure during the call in around 20 minutes. So there are about 100 diseases represented on this page. Acid reflux, abuse. There are, conditions can be considered diseases also. Such as traumatic stress syndrome from 9/11, the World Trade Center attack. A woman actually cured her traumatic stress syndrome from that. So now if we're back on the home page again, and up here at the top it says Login Hub or sign up. If you don't have a password, you can sign up, or you can log in, and you come to the hub of the Cure College. This is the hub, not the home page. And new people who come here, many people just come in and get a password right away. They instantly get a password and come in, And they say, what is this? It's gigantic. Over here, this is the basic skill. Skill 1 is cure physical diseases. And it has 10 applications. Remove viruses, cure cancer, end trauma, recode your DNA. With certain diseases, you must recode your DNA to cure the disease. This may be true, for example, of viral-based diseases such as herpes simplex, Epstein-Barr, and so on. And each one has 2 links underneath it. Now if I click on where it says lessons under Recode Your DNA, and these are the lessons. There's a huge page of lessons on recoding DNA. And one of the lessons is remove adverse DNA mutations you catch from other people. Bet you didn't know you were doing that. But you do, and here's the lesson on that, and then you scroll down and there's all these questions. That's how the lessons work. You probably, if this is the first movie you've ever watched, you are probably not ready for a password right now. But you should probably know this is here at the same time, and some things about it. For example, here's an application of Skill 1, which is, what is Skill 1, do you recall? Cure physical diseases, right? And it's called the safety web. See it? Right here, the safety web. If I click on that, what I come to is a page of lessons about, and there's quite a few lessons on this page, about the safety web. Now basically, it's very simple. God isn't going to let you fail. A woman asked me, I was telling her to remove all bacteria from her physical body. And she said, well, if I remove all bacteria from my physical body, will I remove my beneficial intestinal bacteria? And I said, no. You're not going to remove your beneficial intestinal bacteria. You're going to, God won't let you do that. You're safe. However, there's more to the safety web than that. So you'd want to know about the safety web. Also, there's an application called Knowingness is Power. Most people ignore it. The reason it's here is because knowingness is curative. A lot of times things that you cure happen just because you know something. Now, curing physical diseases is the lowest level of study in this web college. For example, here, which is in the mid-level, there's a skill called 3 spiritual diseases. Do you see it? That's only skill 9. There are 12 skills. So another one is about function. Reinstall your functions. Another one is about reclaiming your immune system so that you can be immune to these things and you won't have to cure cancer or herpes. You won't not get it. As I said before, have not had a flu in 20 years. I haven't had a flu even try to come on in the last 20 years. Okay. If you're not ready for a password yet, and by the way, when you're new, you're probably better off with one of these options. These are the best options for new people, which are next to the movie. And that's when you want to start and you're ready. You're ready. You've like learned it and you understand how to do it. What you probably want to start getting a signal first. And if you notice under this movie, you should start getting a signal when you watch during this movie, which is now 4.5 hours, and there's many illustrations of people getting signals. So hopefully you'll pick it up while you're doing that. But if not, there's an entire page of signals, including a movie that plays automatically at the top, which is a very good lesson with a lot of very serious people getting signals as the movie goes along. you know, illustrating how they get signals. And then there are all these other movies about signals as you go down the page. This little tripod is wandering. I'm trying to hold this with my hand while I show this to you. So now, that's an example of some of the other things that are on here. This is our Twitter feed, this black thing, so that you can see what advanced people, because everybody who posts on this has been doing it for a while and, you know, are curing things. You know, a lot of these people have already cured their herpes or their other thing that they came to cure, their chronic fatigue syndrome and so on, and now they're, you know, this is just some things I cooked. It's not about cooking, okay? But anyway, there's, you know, lots of people just talking about what they're, you know, the more advanced things that they're doing. And these are all people who've cured many things in the past and probably never get the flu, as I don't. None of us ever get the flu anymore. We don't get sick in that way. That's pretty basic, not getting the flu. So if you're not ready for a password, the thing to do is just keep watching movies. And let me show you something about that. There are lots of movies to watch. Here's one that says I cured it in 10 minutes, and lots of people are interested in this. This is a popular movie. This woman is very experienced with this. She's been doing it about 15 years. And but see, if you go down on this movie to here where it says YouTube, and let's click on this. Let's go to the YouTube page, which is the same movie. See, you're on the same movie now. And right underneath it, there's something that says, let me just show this to you. Cure Drive is the account that the movie is in. And you see it says it has 352 videos. So the thing to do is to click on that and go in to the Cure Drive account with the 352 movies. And then, once you're there, subscribe to the account so that you can get back to it easily. And then there are other accounts too. This is not the only account. Some of them only have 25 movies. There's about 10 different accounts. But there's another one that has 250 something movies on it. This is deceptively simple and easy. As you watch these people in these movies, the cure is always instantaneous. And it gives the impression that it's over and you don't have to continue. You don't have to study. And then you get sick again because you didn't get deep enough and get everything. With that being said, I want to show you these women curing something instantly and leave you with the thought that it's probably not going to be what you expected it to be. I think when you watch these women, that's what you see here, that it's probably not going to be what you expected it to be, but it does cure, it probably will if you hang in there and stick with it. You probably will cure the thing you came to cure. Say, can I go to the 144th dimension? See if you get a signal on that. Can I go to the 144th dimension?
Can I go to the 144th dimension? Yes? I guess I can.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay, both of you go to the 144th dimension.
I'm taking myself to the 144th dimension.
Me too.
No stopping for gas on the 8th dimension.
I feel clear.
I feel less interested in anything below the 144th dimension.
Can we stay here all the time?
I know, exactly.